Shalom, shalom, dear friends from the nation, dear brethren, brothers and sisters. We welcome you to journey through the scriptures, where we are reading the scriptures from Genesis to Revelation within 40 days, Yahweh's willing. To this far, we give thanks to our Yahweh, to where we have reached now in the book of John or Yochanan. Now you can also find us on our social medias, on Facebook at Messianic Davar and also at Victor Skiulu Timeline. On YouTube also at Messianic Davar and also at Injili ya Milele ya Yashua Messiah. You can follow us, make sure you like, share, and also don't forget to subscribe. So you also don't forget to give thanks for your comments, even for your support to this far. Now, once again, my name is Zachariah. Now in the book of John or Yochanan. John chapter number 1 verses number 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. He was in the beginning with Elohim, and all to be through him, and without him not even one came to that came to be. In him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not to overcome it. There was a man sent from Elohim, whose name was Yohanan. This one came from a witness to bear witness of the light, that all might believe through him. He was not that light, but that he might bear witness of that light. He was the true light, which enlightens every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came to be through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the authority to become children of Elohim, to those believing in his name, who are born not of the blood, nor of the desire of flesh, nor of the desire of man, but of Elohim. And the Word became flesh and pitched his tent among us, and we saw his esteem was of only brought forth of a Father, complete favor and truth. Yohanan bore witness of him, and I cried out, saying, This was he whom I said, He who comes after me has become before me, and because he was before me. And out of his completeness we all received, and favor upon favor, for the Torah was given through Moshe, that the favor and the truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach. No one has ever seen Yahweh, the only brought forth Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he declared. Now this was the witness of Yohanan, when the Yehudim sent from Yerushalayim, Kohanim, and the Levites to ask him, Who are him? And he confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not Hamashiach. And they asked him, Who then are you, Eliyahu? So he said, I am not. And are you the Nabi? And he said, No. Therefore they said to him, Who are you, so that we give an answer to those who sent us? What do you say about yourself? What do you say about yourselves? And he said, I am a voice of crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of Yahweh, as the Nabi Yeshayahu said. And those sent were of the Pharisees, and they asked him, saying, Why then do you immerse, if you are not Hamashiach, nor Eliyahu, nor the Nabi? Yohanan answered them, saying, I immerse in the water, but in your midst stand one whom you do not know, the one coming after me, who has become before me, whose sandal strap I am not worthy to loosen. This took place in Bethel Abara, beyond the Jordan, where Yohanan was immersing. On the next day, Yohanan saw Yeshua coming towards him, and said, See, the Lamb of Yahweh, who takes away the sins of the world. This is the Son of Man. This is whom I said, After me comes a man who has become before me, for he was before me. And I did not know him, but that he might be revealed to Israel. Therefore I became immersing in water. And Yohanan bore witness, saying, I have seen the rock coming down from the Shemaim like a dove, and remain on him. And I did not know him, but he who sent to immerse in water said to me, Upon whom you see the rock coming down and remaining on him, this is he who immersed in the rock of HaKodesh. And I have seen and I have witnessed that this is the Son of Yahweh. And again the following day Yohanan was standing with the two of his Talmidim, and looked at Yeshua walking and said, "See the Lamb of Yahweh." And the two Talmidim heard him speaking of and they followed Yeshua. And Yeshua, turning and seeing them following, said to them, "What do you seek?" And they said to him, "Rabbi," which translated means teacher, "where are you staying?" He said to them, "Come and see." They went and saw where he was staying, and remained with him that day. Now it was about the 10th hour. Andrew and the brother Shimon Kepha was one of the two who heard from Yohanan and followed him. First he found his own brother Shimon, and he said to him, "We have found Hamashiach," which is interpreted is the anointed. And he brought him to Yeshua, and looking at him, Yeshua said, "You are Shimon the son of Jonah. You shall be called Kepha," which is translated as stone. On the following day, Yeshua wanted to go to Galilee, and he found Philippus and said to him, "Follow me." And Philippus was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Kepha. Philippus found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him who Moshe wrote on the Torah, and the Nabim, Yeshua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." And Nathanael said to him, "Is it possible for any good to come out of Nazareth?" Philippus said to him, "Come and see." Yeshua saw Nathanael coming towards him and said of him, "See, truly our Israelite is whom is no deceit." Nathanael said to him, "From where do you know me?" Yeshua answered and said to him, "Before Philippus called you, where you were under the fig tree, I saw you." Nathanael answered and said to him, "Rabbi, you are the son of Elohim, you are the sovereign of Israel." Yeshua answered and said to him, "Because I said to you, I saw you under the fig tree, do you believe? Greater that you shall see." And he said to him, "Truly, truly, I say to you, from now on you shall see the Shemaim opened, and the messengers of Elohim ascending and descending upon the Son of Adam." Yohanan chapter number 2. And on the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Yeshua was there. And both Yeshua and his Talmidim were invited to the wedding. And when they were short of the wine, the mother of Yeshua said to him, "They have no wine." Yeshua said to her, "Woman, what is that to me and to you? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do you do whatever he says to you?" And there were 6 stones water jugs standing there, according to the mode of cleansing of the Yehudim, each holding 2 or 3 mitrets. Yeshua said to them, "Fill the water jugs with water," and filled up to the brim. And he said to them, "Now draw out and take it to the master of the feast." So they took it. But when the master of the feast had tasted the water that had become wine, and did not know where it came from, though the servant who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, "Every man at the beginning puts out the good wine, and when they have drunk that, then that which is poorer, you have kept the good wine until now." This the beginning of the signs Yeshua did in Cana of Galilee, and manifested his esteem. His Talmidim believed in him. After this he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother and his brothers and his Talmidim, and there they stayed not many days. And the Pesach of the Yehudim was near, and Yeshua went up to Jerusalem, and he found in the Mikdash those selling oxen and sheep and doves, and the money changers sitting. And having made a whip of cord, he drove them out of the Mikdash with the sheep of the oxen, and they poured out the money changers' coins and overturned the tables. And he said to those selling doves, "Take this away, do not make the house of my Father a house of merchandise." And he Talmidim remembered that it was written, "The arrow for your house has eaten me up." And the Yehudim answered and said to him, What sign do you show to us, since you are doing this?" Yeshua answered and said to them, "Destroy the Mishkan, and in 3 days I shall raise it." Then the Yehudim said, "It took 46 years to build this Mishkan, and you are going to raise it in 3 days." But he spoke about the Mishkan of his body. So when he was raised from the dead, his Talmudim remembered that he said this to them, and they believed the scriptures and the word which Yeshua had said. And when he was in Jerusalem at the Pesach, at the festival, many believed in his name when they saw the signs which he was doing. But Yeshua was not entrusting himself to them, because he knew all men. All had no need that anyone should witness of man, for he knew what was in a man. John chapter number 3. And there was a man on the Pharisees, and Nicodemus was his name, a ruler of the Yehudim. This one came to Yeshua by night and said to him, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher that came from Elohim, for no one is able to do these signs you do if Elohim is not with him. Yeshua answered and said to him, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless a man is born from above, he is unable to see the reign of Elohim. And Nicodemus said to him, How is a man able to be born when he is old? Is he able to enter into his mother's womb a second time and be born? Yeshua answered, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and of the rock, he is unable to enter into the reign of Elohim. That of which he has been born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the rock is spirit. Do not marvel that I said to you, you have to be born from the above. The rock breathes through where it wants, and you hear the sound of it, but do not know where it comes from and where it goes. So is everyone who has been born of the rock. Nicodemus answered and said to him, How is it possible for this to take place? Yeshua answered and said to him, Are you the teacher of Israel and do not know this? Truly, truly, I say to you, we speak what we know and witness what we have seen, and you do not receive our witness. If you do not believe when I spoke to you about earthly, how are you going to believe when I speak to you about that of the Shemaim? And no one has gone up into the Shemaim except he who has come down from the Shemaim, the son of Adam. And as Moshe lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so the son of Adam has to be lifted up, so that whoever is believing in him should not perish, but possess everlasting life. For Elohim so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, brought forth Son, so that everyone who believes in him should not perish, but possess everlasting life. For Elohim did not send his Son into the world to judge the world, but that the world through him he might be saved. He who believes in him is not judged, but he who does not believe in him is already, because he has not believed in the name of the only brought forth Son of Elohim. And this is the judgment, that the light has come into the world, and the men loved darkness rather than the light, for their works were wicked. For everyone who is practicing evil hates the light and does not come into light, lest his works should be exposed. But the one doing the truth comes to the light, so that his works are clearly seen, that they have been wrought in Elohim. After this, Yeshua and his Talmudim came into the land of Yehuda, and he remained there with them and was immersing. And Yohanan was also immersing in Ain near Salem, because there was plenty of water there, and they were coming and were being immersed. For Yohanan had not yet been put into prison. Then a dispute arose between some of Yohanan Talmudim and the Yehudim about cleansing, and they came to Yohanan and said to him, Rabbi, he who was in your beyond the Jordan, to whom you have witnessed, see, he is immersing, and all are coming to him. Yohanan answered and said, a man is able to receive not unless it is given to him from the Shemaim. You yourselves are witnessing from me that I said I am not a Hamashiach, but I am sent ahead of him. He that has the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the voice of the bridegroom, so this joy mine is complete. It is right for him to increase, but to me to decrease. He who comes from the above is over all, and he who is from the earth is of the earth and speaks of the earth. He who comes from the Shemaim is over all, and what he has seen and heard, that his witness, and no one receives his witness. He who receives his witness has put his seal of Elohim is true. For he whom Elohim has sent speaks the word of Elohim, for Elohim does not give the ruach by measure. The Father loves the Son and has given all into his hand. He who believes in the Son possesses everlasting life, but he who does not obey the Son shall not see life, but wrath of Elohim remains on him.
Shalom. The book of Yochanan, chapter number 4, according to Hallelujah Scriptures in order to the Tanakh. Welcome, this is Injili ya Milele Yahshua Messiah, and also in reference to the Messianic Double Show. Yochanan chapter number 4, verse number 1. So when the Adon knew that the Pharisees heard that Yeshua made the more Talmidim than Yochanan, although Yeshua he himself did not immerse but his Talmidim, he left Judah and went again to Galilee, and he had to pass through Shomelon. So he came into a city of Shomelon and called Shechem, and near the piece of the land of Yaakov gave to his son Yosef. And Yaakov's fountain was there. So Yeshua, being wearied of the journey, was sitting there at the fountain. It was about 6th hour. A woman of Shomelon came to draw water. Yeshua said to her, "Give me to drink." For his Talmidim had gone off into the city to buy food. The woman of Shomelon therefore said to him, "How is that you, being a Yahudi, and drink from me, a woman of Shomelon? For Yahudim did not associate with the Shomerites." And Yeshua answered and said to her, "For if you knew the gift of Elohim, and who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' and you would have asked him, and he would have given you the living water." The woman said to him, "Adonai, you have a vessel, and the vessel is deep, and from where then you have living water? Are you greater than our father Yaakov, who gave us this well, and to drink from itself, and his sons and his stock?" Yeshua answered and said, "Everyone who drinking of water shall be thirsty again, but whoever drinks of the water I give him shall certainly never thirst, and the water that I give to him shall become in him fountain of water spring up into everlasting life." The woman said to him, "Adonai, give me this water, so that I do not thirst nor come to draw water." Yeshua said to her, "Go call your husband and come here." The woman answered and said, "I have no husband." Yeshua said to her, "You have well said, I have no husband, for you had 5 husbands, and the one whom you have now is not your husband. What you have said is true." The woman said to him, "Adonai, I see that you are a Nabi. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you say that in Jerusalem is the place where one needs to worship." Yeshua said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming, and when you shall neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you don't know. We worship what we know, because the deliverance is of the Yehudim. But the hour is coming, and now is when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father also seeks such to worship him. Elohim is ruach, and those who worship him need to worship in the truth and ruach." And the woman said to him, "I know that the Hamashiach is coming, the one who is called the Anointed One. When the one comes, he shall announce to us all." Yeshua said to her, "I am who is speaking to you, I am he." And upon this Talmidim came, and they were marveling that he was speaking with a woman. However, no one said, "What do you seek?" or "Why do you speak with her?" The woman then left her water jug and went away into the city and said to the men, "Come and see the man who told me all that I have done in this. Is this not the Hamashiach?" Then they went out into the city and were coming to him. But in the meantime, his Talmidim were asking him, saying, "Rabbi, eat." And he said to them, "I have food to eat of which you do not know." Then the Talmidim said to each other, "Did anyone bring him to eat?" And Yeshua said to them, "My food is to the desire of him of whom who sent me, and to accomplish his work. Do you not say there are still 4 months in the harvest comes? And see, I say to you, lift up your eyes and see the fields, and they are white for harvest already. He who is reaping receives the reward and gathers fruit of everlasting high, so that both he who is sowing and he who is reaping rejoice together. For in this the world is true. One sows and another reaps, and I sent to you to reap that which is you have not labored. Others have labored, and you have entered into the labors." And many of the Shomeronites of the city believed in him because of the word of the woman who witnessed, "He told me all that I have done." Therefore, when the Shomerites came to him, and they were asking him and to stay him with them, and he stayed there 2 days, and many more believed because of his word. And they said to the woman, we no longer believe because of what you said, for we ourselves have heard, and we know that this is the true Hamashiach, the Savior of the world. And after the 2 days, and he left there, and he went to Galilee. For Yeshua himself witnessed that a Nabi is without appreciation in his own country. Therefore, when he came to Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all that he had done in Jerusalem in the festival, for they also went to the festival. Then Yeshua came again to Cana of Galilee, and when he had made the water of wine, and there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. When he heard that Yeshua had come from Yehuda to Galilee, and he went into and was asking him to come down and heal his son. So he was about to die. And Yeshua then said to him, if you do not see the signs and wonders, you do not believe at all. And nobleman said to him, Adonai, come down before my child dies. And Yeshua said to him, go, your son lives. And the man believed that the word of Yeshua spoke to him, and went. And while he was going down, his servants met him and reported, saying, your son lives. Then he asked from the hour which he became better. And he said to him, yesterday at the seventh hour, and of information have left him. The father knew that what was at the same hour in which Yeshua said to him, your son lives. And he himself believed, in all his household. And again, this was the second sign of Yeshua did when he had come from Yehuda into Galilee. The book of Yochanan, chapter number 5, verse number 1. And after this there was a festival of the Yehudim, and Yeshua went up to Jerusalem, and Jerusalem at the sheep gate there was a pool which is called an Ivri Beth Azada, having 5 porches. In this were lying a great number of those who were sick, blind, crippled, paralyzed, waiting for the stirring of the water. For a messenger was going down at a certain time into the pool, and was stirring up the water. Whoever stepped in first, then after stirring up the water, became well, and whatever disease he held. And a certain man was there who had sickness 38 years. When Yeshua saw him lying there, and knowing that already had been long time, he said to him, do you want to become well? The sick man answered and said, Adonai, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred, but while I am coming, another steps down before me. Yeshua said to him, rise, take up your bed and walk. And immediately the man became well, and he took up his bed and was walking, and now was on the Sabbath on that day. And Yehudim therefore said to him, who had been killed in the Sabbath day, it is not right for you to take up the bed. He answered them, he who made me well said to me, take up your bed and walk. Therefore they asked him, who is the man who said to you, take up your bed and walk? But the one who was healed did not know who it was, for Yeshua had moved away, a crowd being in that place. Afterward Yeshua found him in the Mikdash, and said to him, see, you have been made well, sin no more, so that no worse befalls you. The man went away and told the Yehudim that it was Yeshua who made him well, and because of this Yehudim persecuted Yeshua, and were seeking to kill him because he was doing on the Sabbath. But Yeshua answered them, my Father works until now, and I work. Because of this, then the Yehudim was still seeking and all the more to kill him, because not only he was breaking the Sabbath, but he also called Elohim his own father, making himself equal with Elohim. Therefore, Yeshua responded and said to him, truly, truly, I say to you, the man is unable to do, not by himself, but for what he sees the Father doing, because whatever he does, the man also does likewise. And therefore the Father loves the man, and shows him that all he himself does, and greater works than this is going to show him, in order that you marvel. For as the Father raises the dead and makes alive, even so the Ben makes alive from he wants. For the Father judges no one, but he has given all judgment to the Ben, that all should value the Ben even as they value the Father. Even he who does not value the Ben does not value the Father who sent him. Truly, truly, I say to you, who hears my word and believes in him who sent me possesses everlasting high, and does not come into judgment, but has passed from death unto high. Truly, truly, I say unto you, hour is coming, and now is when the dead shall hear the voice of the Ben, and those having heard shall live. For as the Father possesses high in himself, so he has given to the Ben to possess Kai in himself. He has given to him authority also to the judgment, because he is Ben of Adam. I do not marvel at this, because of this hour is coming, with all those in the tombs shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, and those who have done good to the resurrection of Kai, to those who have practiced evil in the direction of judgment. O myself am able to do the not as I hear I judge, and my judgment is righteous, because I do not speak on my own desire, but the desire of him the Father who sent me. If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There is no another one who bears witness, and I know my witness, his witness, which he witnesses on me, it is true. You have sent Yochanan, and he bore witness of the truth, but I do not receive witnesses from man, but I say this in order that you might be saved. He was burning a shining lamp for a wine, and we wanted to rejoice in his right, but I have greater witness than that of Yochanan, for the works of the Father gave me to accomplish the work that I do, bear the witness of me, that the Father has sent me. And the Father who sent me, who bore the witness of me, you have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his form, and you do not have the word staying in you, because you do not believe him who sent me, he who sent you. Search the scriptures, because you think they possess everlasting high in them, and these are the ones that bear witness of me. But you do not desire to come in me in order to possess high. I do receive esteem from men. I do not receive esteem from men, but I know that you do not have the love of Elohim in you. I have come in my Father's name, but you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, in him you will receive. How are you able to believe when you are receiving esteem from one another? And the esteem that is from the only Elohim you do not seek. Do not think that I shall accuse you to the Father. There is one who accuses you. Moshe is whom you have put your expectation. For if you believe Moshe, you will have believed me, since he wrote about me. But if you do not believe his writings, how shall you believe my words? The Book of Yochanan, chapter number 6. And this Yeshua went away into the other side of the sea and Galilee, that is the lake of Kinneret, and a large crowd was following him, because they saw the signs of which he had did on those who were sick. And Yeshua went on the mountain, and there he ate down in his Talmidim, and the Pesach is near, and the festival of Yom. Then Yeshua, lifting up his eyes, seeing the large crowd coming toward him, he said, Philippus, where shall we buy bread for them to eat? And this he said, trying him, and he himself knew that he would do. Philippus answered to him, 200 pieces of silver worth bread is not sufficient for them, for every one of them is to them to receive a little. One of his Talmidim, Andri, the brother of Shimon Kepha, said to him, here is a boy who has 5 barrels of broths and 2 fish, but what are these for so many? And Yeshua said, make the people sit down. And now there was much grass in this place, and the men of numbering about 5,000 sat down. And Yeshua took the loaves, and having given thanks, he distributed them to the Talmidim to those sitting down, and the same with the fish, as much as they wanted. And when they were filled, they said to the Talmidim, gather the broken pieces that are left over, that no one gets wasted. So that they gather them in the filled baskets with broken pieces, and 5 the barley loaves which were left over by those who had eaten. The men, having seen the sign that Yeshua did, said, this is the true Rabbi who is coming into the world. Then Yeshua, knowing that they were about to come and to seize him, that they make him to be sovereign, withdrew again to the mountain alone, but by himself. And when evening came, his Talmidim went down to the sea, and to the entering of into the boat, and they were going over toward Capernaum, and it already become dark, and Yeshua had not come into to them, and the sea was rising, because a great wind was blowing. And when they had rowed about 25 or 30 stages, and saw Yeshua walking on the sea, coming near a boat, and they were afraid. And he said to them, it is I, do not be afraid. They determined therefore to take him into the boat, and at once the boat was at the land where they were going. On the next day the crowd was standing on another side of the sea, and saw that there was no other boat there except that one into his Talmidim. He entered in, that Yeshua had not entered the boat in his Talmidim, but his Talmidim went away alone. But other boats came from Kinneret, and here the praise they ate the bread, and after they were done had given thanks. Therefore when the crowd saw that Yeshua was not there, and he know his Talmidim, them themselves also entered into the boat and came to Capernaum. and came to Capernaum, seeking Yeshua. And having found him on the other side of the sea, they asked him, Rabbi, when did you come here? And Yeshua answered them and saying, Truly, truly, I say to you, you seek me not because of the signs, but because you ate the loaves of bread and were satisfied. Do not labor for the food that is perishing, but for the food that is remaining everlasting high, which the Ben of Adam shall give to you. For the Father Elohim has put his seal on him. So they said to him, What should we do to the work of Elohim? Yeshua answered and said to them, This is the work of Elohim, that you believe in him whom he sent. So they said to him, What sign that they will do so that we see they believe in you? What will you do? Our fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, and it has been written, He gave them the bread of the Shamaim to eat. Therefore Yeshua said to them, Truly, truly, I say to you that Moshe did not give you the bread out of the Shamaim, but my Father gives you the true bread out of the Shamaim. For the bread of Elohim is he who comes down out of the Shamaim and gives you high to the world. So he said to him, Adonai, give us this bread always. The scripture says, and Yeshua said to them that the bread of he who was